every time you have a student sharing with you his or her update, there are a lot of work that has been done. So please pay attention to see whether you can borrow, adopt, or steal idea from him or her. Yeah, especially those students who are more advanced into their research. Okay, so don't take this as a just FYI. Every progress update presented, there are a lot of gems and jewels in it. So please take this opportunity to get something really valuable from the presentation. Okay. May I invite Ms. Chin? After, can you hold your discussion later? Yeah, please. Please. Please close the door. Please close the door. Okay. So if you want your tea or coffee, please just walk over there. You can hold your discussion later. By the way, this research has been conducted for quite a while. There have been. Can you have a discussion later, friends? This is quite a mature research, so please pay attention to what Ms. Chin has to present. I'm sure you can learn quite a lot of things from here.
Hi. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My topic for today is social marketing approach, the factors that influence females' behavior towards breast cancer early diagnosis in Malaysia. My name is Chin Jing Hui, you can call me Victoria, and my supervisor is Professor Dr. Shaheen Mansouri. What is social marketing? What you can see from here is a picture of a bottle of alcohol and safe water with the earth with a pipe over there. This means that it is an illicit drug and water savings. Seeing here, with two cars matched together, a sports shoe with some vegetables on it, think before you print. Early detection saves lives. What you can see from here is, you should safe driving, have more physical activities, have more healthy lifestyle, having more input of vegetables. Think before you print. You should save trees, use less of papers. Early detection saves lives. This is what about my topic is about. It is about breast cancer early diagnosis. Besides this breast cancer early diagnosis, other cancers also you should do early detection. For example, cervical cancer, lymphoma, colon cancer, and many more. From here, social marketing definition, Kotler and Zapman. the design, implementation, and control of programs calculated to influence the acceptability of the social ideas and involving considerations of product, planning, pricing, communications, and market research. This means that social marketers should plan, identify, examining the design, implementation, the campaigns to influence acceptability of the social ideas, increase the targeted audience awareness, self-alertness, why they don't engage into intended behavior, and involving considerations of product planning, pricing, communications, and market research. Communications. How social marketers should tell targeted audience, how should they influence them, by using what? Posters, campaigns. Next, Anderson definitions, further extended and revised as: social marketing is the application of commercial marketing technologies to analyze, planning, execution, and evaluation of programs designed to influence the voluntary and involuntary. Based on here, application of commercial marketing technologies, it means that it never separates from marketing tools. It uses marketing tools and techniques in applying for the social marketing to influence the voluntary and involuntary behavior of target audiences. What it means for voluntary and involuntary. For example, for breast cancer early diagnosis, if I know that I have a lot of benefits going for the early diagnosis, definitely I'll do it voluntarily. Involuntarily, let's say, nowadays government feels that we should not input so much of sugar. And then policymakers will change, modify, or implement certain laws and regulations for the products to have less sugar. So for some of the targeted audience, they will feel that it is an involuntary behavior. Next, this is problem statement. What you can see is, it is the most common cancer among the women worldwide. 1 out of 8 women will have the chance of getting the breast cancer. This is the graph. Overall, you can see mortality, which means the incidence, it is increasing nowadays, although the mortality is reducing. Meaning to say, nowadays, all the women have less awareness about themselves. Problem statement. About 1 in 19 women are at risk in Asia. They have very little of level of awareness because of high workload, sedentary lifestyles. Early diagnosis is your best protection. Generally, there are 3 types of self-checking: ultrasound and mammography. Because if you do it early, the survival rate is 98%. Literature gap. Few studies highly focus on the impact of social marketing campaign. Few studies, because they never share that the perceived vulnerability, perceived severity that the woman might get, the barriers that what the woman is within them. High level of inconsistency among the results of the current literature review, the lack of comprehensive conceptual framework. There's no solid framework nowadays in the literature review. That's why it is claimed by Kotler that the majority of the campaigns held failed. Cultural difference as well. For example, talk about breast cancer. Asia will less talk about it because of shy, escapism, taboo, but it is different compared to Western countries. Main research objective: to investigate relationships between independent variables towards the intention. Sub-objectives: to identify the factors and to examine the influence of identified factors. Research questions: what are the factors that might influence the intentions, and to what extent is the level of the influenced level of intentions? Significance of studies: provide insights to enhance availability of literature of the market. Provide insights to show that any dissimilarities among the authors, any similarities among the authors, make some arguments, discussion about the literature. Government healthcare divisions: what is the current situation and the condition? The law and policy makers: what they should do, implement, change or modify for the registry. Medical and insurance industry: what they can do and provide the package for the current targeted audience. Contribution of study: provide insights, potentially create awareness, provide valuable information to encourage female behavioral change. Theories: 5 theories that I currently use: theory of planned behavior, social learning theory, social cognitive theory, health belief model, and protection motivation theory. Before that, I would like to say that, like just now Professor Prem said, for the leverage, my current research also have a major contribution on the impact for the society. Theory of planned behavior. Attitudes towards behavior: there are 3 antecedents: attitudes, subjective norm, and perceived controlled. These 3 core dimensions contribute to the intentions, and then the final predictor will be behavior. Attitude means that the individuals believed what is the possible outcome that if he engaged into the intended behavior. Subjective norm. Subjective norms means that if the individual feels friends, external parties, family members motivate, encourage her to go for breast cancer early diagnosis, and she will engage into the intended behavior. Perceived behavior control. This is the reason added. Before that it was TRA, theory of reason action. Perceived controlled behavior, meaning to say it is the ability of the individual that he can overcome the limitation of his own self, whether it's social conditions, external conditions, environmental conditions, to perform the intended behavior. Protection motivation theory. There are 2 main dimensions. First is threat appraisal. Second will be coping appraisal. Severity, vulnerability, response efficacy, and self-efficacy. Severity also means seriousness. Vulnerability also means susceptibility. Here, perceived severity, it means that how serious you feel you will if you engage into the fatal disease, for example, breast cancer. How serious you will get, what is the consequences? For example, if you cannot go to work routine, and you will need to pay a lot of money for the medical. Vulnerability, what is the possibility, the risk that you might get? Every female will have the chance of getting breast cancer. Response efficacy, self-efficacy. What is your ability? How much you can overcome your own limitation to perform into the favorable behavior? So, coping appraisal, trait appraisal, you have to cope with the severity, vulnerability, and reduce the threat in order to move into action. Next, health belief model. There are 6 constructs: perceived severity, perceived susceptibility, perceived benefits, perceived barriers, self-efficacy, and lastly, cues to action. For the 4, it's almost similar as the protection motivation theory. For the perceived benefits, meaning to say, what you can gain, what you can see from going early diagnosis. And for the barriers is, what you feel that stopped you, ceased you from doing so. Escapism, lack of awareness, or you feel you are too busy on doing so. Cues to action. This means taking the behavior into the actions. It can be external or internal. External might be when you feel pain, and then you will go for the doctor. For the internal, you might feel that your friends and your family suggest you to go for the early diagnosis, maybe because of the history or the background of your family. Lastly, this is the list of identified variables that I might going to use: perceived susceptibility, vulnerability, benefits, barriers, self-efficacy, ISM, interpretive structural model, and exchange theory. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chin. If you can have some questions from the floor.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry that I'm a little bit late regarding to your nice presentation, but actually regarding to the remaining that I joined, it's so very interesting, first of all. Regarding to the theoretical part, that most of the time we are suffering to support the theories for our research model. As a matter of fact, I haven't seen your research model through your presentation, and you didn't talk about it. You just only mentioned to selecting the variables from the theories part.
Yes.
Is it possible, just only very briefly, not too much, how and what is the process, how you are selecting, how you are selecting the independent variables from those theories? Because, as you mentioned, 5 main theories that you have already selected. And for each of them, some of them have the overlapping and some of them has the differentiations.
Okay.
How you are selecting those independent variables for your research model later on?
Okay. From here, this is just a possibility list. I haven't finalized yet, but I select perceived susceptibility is from protection motivation model. Vulnerability is from health belief model. Self-efficacy is from the motivation theory. Barriers, benefits, and there's extra IV, actually I haven't put it inside. And all the theory and the model is, I might want to consider about it in future.
All right, I want to know that actually regarding to the students, because this is the most important part. Maybe you can share with us that how you are, I repeat my question again, how you are go through the selecting, of course, as the proposed in variables, as you mentioned that, how you get it, and how you can select to omit or just to be as the put as the listed for the variables. And later on, how they will be as the direct as the independent variable, or maybe as the moderating or mediating variables. A little bit sharing, because as I see that you are so very professional regarding to the theories and you work so hard to select those 5 main theories and selected these potential variables. It's important for me. What is the process that you go through it and you can share with your students?
You can read some articles and read some books and read all the literature reviews regarding to the topic that you are doing and summarize out what is the dissimilarity. Like I say, in the literature review gap there, you must see the dissimilarity among the authors and the similarity. So if the gap is the things that you cannot find out or quite rare among all the articles, then you can consider putting it inside.
Very good. Can I just only briefly regarding to that one? First of all, what are regarding to your topic, would you please go back to your topic? It is the process that I wanted that you mentioned that, not through myself. Okay. As you see that regarding to the topic that you have already selected, they will consist of two parts as the independent and the dependent variable. When you go through this selecting the variables, for those of them that have the similarity and the scope of your study, you will go through it to be as shortlisted. And those of them that they are not included in your variables, it will be just only omitted. First of all. The other part as the affect regarding to the dependent variable, because if it is not as the new study, it should not be considered as the PhD. Therefore, the affect of the independent or any kind of the variables that you are selected through the dependent variable. On the other hand, then all those theories and the variables in the scope of your learning and scope of your study could be selected to be as the shortlisted and put it in the potential variables, simple and easy. Just go through it, and this is the thing that we can summarize it. Am I right or not?
Yes.
That's all. Good.
Thank you. Thank you for your opinion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for all the suggestion and opinion. We will be carrying out the next session. I think Mr. Edwin will advise you what we need your assistance to fill up for the QS survey form. So as what is mentioned by the President just now, Malaysia University of Science and Technology, we are trying to, this is at a data collection stage. So we will be applying or trying to be ranked in the QS ranking. So we will need your input, and you will be invited to the computer lab to put in your inputs. Mr. Edwin will brief you in more detail. Okay, and our session will adjourn at 2 p.m. Okay, after you have input for the QS survey, please meet us back here at 2 p.m. Okay, Mr. Edwin.
Okay. Hi. Good afternoon, everyone. So, you rarely see my face here on the stage. Okay. It's a very quick one. It's a very quick one. Everybody knows QS, right? I think being academicians like you would have heard the name QS ranking. It's an international ranking, and we are in the process of going into the ranking, and we need your support because for the initial stage of this ranking system, there is a survey, okay, student survey, and we need 100% participation from your side to participate in the survey, and the deadline is like 2 weeks from now. So we really need you to do it right now. Okay, so there is a link that you need to go into and fill up the form. The form will take roughly about 5 to 10 minutes max. Okay, so after you click in the link, you can just fill up the form. It's just 4 pages. Okay, so we'll bring you to second floor to fill up the form, and after that you can have your lunch, right, Dr. Janaka? Yep. After that you can have your break, and then by 2 o'clock you can come back. Okay. We can go to the lab now. It's at second floor, 2C1 and 2C2. If you want to do it mobile, yeah, maybe I'll write down the links here. If you have your own laptop, I think you can. Okay.
If you can put it in the IBS group, then everybody can just only click on them and just fill out the form. No need to go any places, something like that, if you agree.
Yeah, if you do not have a computer or do not have a mobile phone, then you just go to the second floor and fill it up. Give us just like 60 seconds. We are going to give you the link now. Yeah, we are doing